friends, welcome back. So today we are watching the video. Its title is India is Reclaiming Super Poor to Superpower. So amazing title, right? So before we go ahead and watch this video, yes friends, if you're new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notifications of all our videos as soon as we upload them. And after watching this video, if you like it, then click the like button and share the video with your friends and family. So, okay friends, let's go ahead and watch this video.
India is going through a massive transformation. The 21st century India is responding to globalization, and this is reflected in its transforming cityscapes. Mumbai, the national capital region. Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bengaluru. The change is becoming more and more visible. The country has brought 271 million people out of poverty between the years of 2005 to 2016. Standard Chartered's long-term forecast expects India to become the world's second largest economy by 2030, overtaking the US and becoming second only to China. It should be noted that India has already become the third largest economy in purchasing power terms, and in nominal terms, it is the sixth largest in the world. According to the Center for International Development at Harvard University, the economic pole of global growth has moved over the past few years from China to neighboring India, where it is likely to stay over the coming decade.
Wow.
In terms of economic progress, is India becoming the next China? The Beijing-based Chinese think tank, Unbound, thinks so. According to Unbound, China needs to seriously consider and study the rise of India's economy and India's competitive advantage. India, an ancient land with growing young population, is an emerging market power. It is entirely possible for it to become the next China and poses great attraction to the world's capital. The Chinese think tank's apprehensions are not unfounded. Leading international business leaders, think tanks, and global CEOs now consider India as one of the most attractive destinations for investment and technology transactions. What are the conditions that are favoring India? What are the factors that have brought India to the world center stage? What is it that makes India one of the largest growth engines in the world? India is the number one offshoring destination in the world, accounting for approximately 55% market share of the global services sourcing business. Indian IT companies have a presence in more than 80 countries, and Indian IT giant TCS is set to become the world's third largest IT services company. India has the world's third largest startup ecosystem. It is expected that by 2034, the Indian e-commerce industry will overtake the US to become the second largest e-commerce market.
Wow.
India already has the second largest telecom network in the world, and it is expected to have a total internet user base of more than 800 million by 2021. India has more than 250 million school-going students, which is more than any other country. The country has become the second largest market for e-learning after the US. A report by Ernst & Young stated that by 2030, the emergence of a robust higher education system would enable India to have more than 20 universities among the global top 200. In terms of scientific output, India ranks fifth in the world, and by 2030, it is expected to climb up to third. In 2017, India ranked first in the Global Retail Development Index. By 2030, it is set to become the third largest consumer market. The number of operational airports in India will rise to 200 in 2 decades, and by 2024, it will overtake the UK to become the third largest air passenger market. Ports, rail, highways, ambitious infrastructure projects are rapidly changing the face of India. The country is already building a bullet train infrastructure, and it is also working on the Hyperloop. India's state-of-the-art Train 18, which is a semi-high-speed indigenously built train, has already found many global admirers who have expressed an interest in importing it. India is already creating a web of modern urban metro networks in its big cities. After the completion of Phase 4, the Delhi Metro will become the third largest metro network in the world, with a total length of approximately 450 kilometers.
Nice.
With more than 7,000 freight trains carrying 3 million tons of freight daily and more than 12,000 passenger trains with 23 million travelers on board every day, the Indian Railways, with its 115,000 kilometer network and more than 7,000 stations, is among the world's largest. Spanning over 5.5 million kilometers, India has the world's second largest road network, and by 2022, the country is expected to have a national highway network of 200,000 kilometers. India is the second largest casting producer in the world. It is also the second largest producer of steel and cement. The construction market in India will grow nearly twice as fast as China up to 2030, and the country is expected to overtake Japan to become the world's third largest construction market by 2021.
2021?
Thanks to these solid indicators, there shouldn't be any surprise that the Indian real estate industry is expected to be the third largest in the world by 2030. India is already the second largest mobile phone manufacturer in the world. It is the third largest producer of coal and fourth largest producer of iron ore. The country is the world's largest cutting and polishing center for diamonds, and in 2017, it exported 75% of the world's polished diamonds.
Ooh, 75%.
By 2020, it is expected to become the fifth largest manufacturing country in the world.
Wow.
In 2017, India became the fourth largest auto market. It is already the largest manufacturer of two-wheelers and tractors in the world. It is the world's third largest heavy truck manufacturer and fourth largest car producer. By 2020, it is expected to become fourth largest manufacturer of automobiles globally, and the Indian auto components industry is set to become the third largest in the world by 2025. Jaguar, Range Rover, and Sangyong Motors are owned by Indian companies. India's national healthcare program, Ayushman Bharat, is the largest government-funded healthcare program in the world. The country also contributes immensely to global healthcare. India is the top supplier of doctors to both the UK and the USA.
True.
Indian hospitals receive nearly 500,000 international patients annually, and medical tourism in the country is expected to touch $8 billion by 2020. It is difficult to imagine how the world would be able to combat AIDS without Indian input. Globally, over 80% of the antiretroviral drugs which are used to combat AIDS are supplied by India. 30% of the annual UNICEF requirement of antiretroviral drugs is supplied by India. Indian drugs are exported to more than 200 countries in the world. Since India is the largest provider of generic drugs globally, it is also known as the pharmacy of the world. 25% of all medicines in the UK are sourced from India. 40% of generic drugs taken by Americans are made in India, and the country's massive pharmaceutical industry is the source of more than 50% of global demand for various vaccines. India's rich culture and spiritual foundational wisdom are its big assets. It is the land which gave birth to pro-environment traditions like aparigraha. It shouldn't be a surprise that India secured the best score in the Green Dex survey and emerged as one of the least wasteful economies. This is a Karbi traditional home. These traditional tribal homes are one of the finest displays of India's rich heritage. They represent a combination of intelligent engineering and sustainable living, which is totally relevant in the 21st century. The Indian state, Sikkim, has become the role model for the entire world in organic farming. It is the world's first 100% organic state. Fruit and vegetable production, tea production, silk production, bamboo genetic resources. India ranks second in the world in all these departments. In other agricultural commodities like rice, wheat and pulses, it is also among the top producers. With as many as 8,000 species, India is the world's second largest exporter of medicinal plants. It is the world's largest producer of dairy, and globally, India has been the largest milk-producing country since 1997. After the United States, Japan and China, India is the fourth largest producer of agrochemicals. Some of the biggest solar farms of the world are located in India.
Solar
The
farms.
Indian renewable energy sector is the fourth most attractive renewable energy market in the world, and the country is well positioned to surpass its 2022 renewable energy target. In Paris, India pledged that by 2030, 40% of its installed capacity will come from renewable sources, and it is expected that by 2050, renewables will supply 75% of electricity in India.
Very good.
Thorium is considered to be the nuclear fuel of the future, and India has one of the largest shares of global thorium reserves. India is expected to have 30.5 million international tourist arrivals by 2028, but its real potential is a lot more. With 26 biotic provinces, 10 biogeographical zones, more than 30 World Heritage Sites, a 7,000-kilometer coastal line, as well as its mountains, deserts, rainforests, islands, volcano, salt flats, wildlife, and tribal habitation, India is incredibly diversified. Its 29 states, 7 union territories, 4,000 cities, and 600,000 villages have a lot of hidden potential. Many of them are not yet fully explored and discovered. In 2017, India ranked first in the world's first digital travel rankings when it was revealed that it had the most digitally advanced travelers. There is no denying that India is emerging as a lucrative expat destination. It is the 12th best country to live in as an expat.
Wow.
It is far ahead of countries like the USA, the UK, Japan, and China. India-based expats earn an average of $176,000, which means that they are the second highest paid in the world. On the other hand, Indians who are living outside India have performed exceptionally well and have rightfully earned the tag of model minority. In both the UK and the USA, the Indian community has been outperforming other ethnic groups academically and economically.
Wow.
India is also the world's top recipient of remittances, as its diaspora sent $79 billion back home in 2018. The country is also expected to benefit from the reverse brain drain. From its film industry to its space agency and defense, India's growth can be seen across a very broad spectrum. In terms of ticket sales and number of films made, India has the world's largest film industry.
True.
India is a nuclear-armed nation, and its military is the fourth strongest in the world. Its space agency, ISRO, has already reached Mars, and now it is planning to send humans to space. For its commercial arm, Antrix, it has launched hundreds of foreign satellites for multiple developed and developing nations. This may all sound very impressive, but for India, this is just the beginning. It wants to attain self-dependence in core technologies, and it wants to participate in the fourth industrial revolution. But will India be able to earn its rightful place in the powerful and influential global forums which are dominated by the Western nations?
Yes, it will.
Will India be able to help those forums become truly global and truly democratic by challenging the existing supremacy of the Western powers?
Yes.
Will India be able to protect its citizens from tech colonization? And will it be able to have a stronger voice in the global media?
Yes.
Will India be able to protect its identity from the Western religious and commercial monocultures which are homogenizing its cultures and diversity?
Yes.
Will it be able to learn the best global practices, and will it be able to preserve the best that it has?
Yes, I hope so.
Unlike others, Will India be able to use its science for global public good and not just for commercial
Oh,
returns?
definitely yes.
Those who are concerned about India's economic development's impact on the environment should also understand that India's historical emissions are extremely low in comparison to other global powers. Just because the financial prosperity of many developed nations and colonial powers came at a cost to the environment and through the misery of colonized nations, it does not mean that there are no other ways to walk the path to prosperity. Through its approach of universal familyhood, which is rooted in its ancient foundational wisdom, India is practicing what others could only preach. The world should take note of that. See you again.
So, friends, a beautiful video. Some of these things we already knew because we had watched different videos which had talked about it. But anytime you listen to it, you never will get bored because they are so fascinating. And yeah, one of my main concerns was where they said that will we be able to retain our culture, our traditions, while there is this so much of westernization going on. So that is one of my main concerns too. And I'm desperately, hope that our culture and traditions they stay because what we have is beautiful. So a beautiful video makes you very proud and really looking forward to the coming years and seeing India being in the first three places in almost everything good.
Right, so very good video. I think she has covered a lot of areas, and I think much of the information that she is sharing, thankfully, she is putting the sources also. And I like videos which are going with facts, so it's very nice that she has shown the facts. But some of the things in the end, I felt that they were not clear, like India being the 12th most favored country to live in or something like that. So I think there's some kind of confusion in that because the indexes that I have read don't point to that yet. They point to it in 2050. Yes, everything is going to change by that time. So all the forecasts are saying that when you come to 2050, India is number two, and India is number two in almost everything, not just one. Any sector you take, it is almost number two, number three, number two. But overall, India will be kind of number two, with first being China.
Wow.
And they're saying that can India be number one? Anything is possible in life. I mean, some things get messed up in some other country. Anything is possible in life. But so far, the projections are number two. And what we are seeing, the changing landscape in the cities, that is what India is moving towards that mark, and things will be very different by that time. But there are still many things that are yet to be done, essentially being the permanent member of the United Nations, to have the ability to veto. Now, I believe that is the biggest disadvantage, because if any critical thing happens, or anything happens that is favoring India, we have China to veto it. So then everything goes bad. So there, India has to really think about, and India is doing it, to become a permanent member and have a veto power. And when they have that, then they'll be able to counterbalance China. I think that is the biggest. And the second thing is, it is okay that India has the fourth largest army or third largest army with respect to conventional weapons, but that was the old way of fighting. We are really talking about nuclear weapons and the capability to fire from the space. So in that, I think ISRO is moving ahead very fast, and
Yeah.
time will come when ISRO will show its superiority, and it will be a game changer, because conventional is not that critical. When somebody can just fire a weapon from the Earth's satellite that is nuclear, then you are essentially, if you don't have something to intercept that and destroy it midway, then you don't have. So I think, but I would say that up till now the numbers are showing that India is on its path to victory by 2050, if everybody continues to contribute, and India is a democracy. I think that is another huge advantage, democracy and younger people. But every country goes through a phase. if they're younger people now, you go back to 40, 50 years, you will have middle-aged people more. Then you go more forward, one more generation, you have older people. So countries have to go through that cycle. But the good part is that until 2050, there'll be plenty of young people to take the country to till that stage. And then, of course, India will have would have become a developed country at par with any other nation. So it was a very nice video to look at the facts. Some points are very good. Some I think were a little bit confusing, but overall I agree, as I said, I mean there are two key things I would like to see is the first one being a permanent member of the United Nations, and second is nuclear superiority, because so many videos we have done and history has started the same thing and again that any war or something, it was never about bravery. Indians have always been very brave, but it was the superiority of the weapons that really tilted the war in the favor of the others. So I think that is one thing where India really has to make sure that this history never repeats ever. So nice video.
So yes, friends, we hope you enjoyed watching this video with us. It was a beautiful video, and we'll come back again in another video very soon. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Oh, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so it notifies you when I put in my new video for you to enjoy. Bye!